Welcome back, Jeff, from Vancouver, Canada. I got to get that in again. Even though you're here in Los Angeles now, but you are from Vancouver, one of the most beautiful cities in the world, where I will be the end of August, actually. Is there an experience you can share with us that you would consider as one of your most challenging?
I would say, regrettably so. I was helping build a business in a space that admittedly was outside my wheelhouse. So I really couldn't adequately evaluate and judge if everything was happening the way it should be happening. It was hard for me to measure and benchmark. But I think more significantly, um, one of the key players in that business, um, how should I'm going to attempt to be polite here, but they were shut down by the Department of Corporations by violating rules, by violating trust, and it was not anything that any of us saw coming. Simply because we had personal relationships and we trusted those personal relationships. And so when we got the phone call that said the Department of Corporations had shut down this business for, let's call it, inappropriate activity in terms of how money was handled, primarily, it came as a surprise. And I found myself scrambling to manage a situation because we had investors, many of whom are my friends and family, in this business, and immediately had to think about how do I separate myself from somebody who I'd known for 15 years socially, and who I liked and enjoyed socially, but had crossed a line that was entirely inappropriate. So, I immediately jumped into action, separated out the parties, retained our own counsel, and attempted to build a fence around who we were on our end and be able to, at some point, if we ever ended up in a courtroom, be able to establish the fact that there was a differentiation between who we were and what we were doing and what had just occurred. So it was a big disappointment. It cost me a lot of money, both in hard dollars and time and effort. And energy, and it cost me a lot of psychic energy too. Right. So, you asked the question.
That's a challenging one, and it's sometimes who you associate with that can bring you down just as much as even if you didn't do anything, basically.
It's really about the people, Mark, and you know that you can have a great business, but if you don't have the right people, you're going to end up struggling, and you can have an okay business, but if you've got great people, you can carry the day with an okay business.
Absolutely, I second the motion. Thanks.